Tell us what you do here at the farmers market.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Stephanie. I'm the executive director for the St. John's Center for Opportunity, which is a nonprofit that serves the St. John's and Cathedral Park neighborhoods. And this year I'm also serving as our farmers market manager. So coordinating with the vendors so they know where to be, and helping out with our food access programs. We accept SNAP benefits here at the market, and so we provide tokens that individuals can use at the different vendors, and then we will reimburse them for that. And setting up porta potty.
Gotta be done.
And you mentioned that there's 2 more weeks left of
Yes.
St. John's Farmers Market.
Yes. So this week and then next week, and the last one is on Halloween. So we're here Saturday 9 to 2.
You did mention earlier some services that will be coming through.
Oh, absolutely. So our nonprofit, this is one of the programs that we do, is the farmers market, which keeps us pretty busy during the summer months. But in the new year, we're going to be relaunching our storefront improvement grants, which are matching grants for the local small businesses, primarily on Lombard in the business district here in St. John's. So we can do things like a new sign outside or renovations to their exterior facade. So we're really excited to support those businesses when they need us the most, which is right now.
And you started just a month ago, is that right?
Yes, I started on September 15th. So yeah, just about a month now.
It's an amazing month to start it up.
Well, I've been really lucky. We had an interim executive director who really kind of has a background in nonprofit and kind of came in and assessed everything and made some recommendations to our board of directors. So I felt like I was coming into a lot of organization that was really laid for me by her. So I really appreciate Nina Nguyen.
I noticed that the free clothing that has been in the farmers market in the past is not here.
That's right. We have relocated our clothing closet over to Grace Christian Fellowship, which is right here in the neighborhood. So you can still enjoy the free clothing closet right here in St. John's. It's just in a little bit of a different location. A lot of the services that we are offering as an organization are being done remotely right now. So we have a relationship with MISO and ERCO and Busy Lizzie, so we offer free workforce development support, so career coaching or help with your resume or writing a cover letter. Berenia, who's our workforce navigator, she has some pretty good relationships with a lot of the local employers, so she can even help with placement. And then we also offer small business consulting, so that could be conceptual support with your business, all the way to social media support, and all of those services are free. They are being offered remotely for the time being, but we look forward to being able to reopen our physical location once it's safe to do so.
Are those services available to just St. John's businesses?
Yeah, so St. John's Center for Opportunity, our service boundary, if you live here, you probably know what the cut is.
The cut.
So the cut is where the railroad line runs, kind of at the end of the St. John's neighborhood. So that's the end of our service boundary.
Oh. Well, I'm Margo with Village Portland, and I see you're selling some lovely bread.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what's your bakery is?
Our bakery is Dosagranos Bakery. And we're located in North Williams and Shaver.
What kind of breads are you selling?
We have a variety of pastries here, which they go from pretzels to savory.
How long have you been helping out?
Well, the bakery has been up for a couple of years, but my dad and my cousin, they've worked together at bakery for like 11 years or more. They used to work at Delfina's, and then that got closed down, so they decided to make their own bakery.
So all the work and all the money stays in Cambodia. We're just basically distributing.
Wow.
We try to have the farmer keep the price to stay, not go down too much. Help them to.
Competitive rice prices
Yeah.
for Cambodia.
Yeah.
Great.
When we first went in, we raised the price about 10% the first year, and we got more farmers growing this particular variety, and it's easier for them to sell this variety than it is to do a new variety.
Can you tell me a bit about this variety? Why does it
This
easier?
is an heirloom rice.
Heirloom rice.
Developed back in the 1700s in
Wow.
Cambodia. During the Pol Pot era, the Cambodian Pol Pot forbids the farmers from growing it in their fields. And about 10 farmers hid it in the middle of their fields for about 10 years. When Pol Pot was overthrown, the Cambodian government came back in, selected the best of the 10 fields, and propagated it. And it's now the premier rice in Cambodia.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah, we sell honey and pasture-raised meats.
And what you're the Deck Family Farm.
Correct. Yeah, we're out in Junction City, so just like 20 miles north of Eugene.
Great.
We have 500 acres, so it's very expansive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the honey that we see?
Yeah, so it's all wildflower honey, and so we don't like totally have control over what they're pollinating from. But that also makes it really nice and different as well. And so, yeah, both jars are the same. Last week we had one that was very dense with pollen, and so the whole thing looked crystallized, but it was just like very cloudy with pollen, which is great for allergies. But this honey is like literally my favorite honey that I've ever had anywhere. Just because it's all wildflower. It's very sweet when you first taste it, like very classic honey flavor. But then some like strong herb comes through in the back of your mouth, and it's almost like sweet and savory, which is cool. And so like I don't use a lot of like sauces or dressings on my food, but I'll like roast a bunch of veggies and just take some honey and drizzle it on top, and it's really really good to me.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even though there's like required social distancing, it's been really great to see all of our regulars still coming back and still supporting us, and just helping us make it through these tough times.
Tell us about. I'm a garlic lover.
Okay.
What kind of
So
garlic?
that's good garlic is a whipped garlic. It's like a little bit like a Lebanese toom. So it's got a little bit of canola oil, some olive oil, a little Jacobson sea salt, some lemon juice, and then this pureed garlic. So it's super pungent. It's super versatile. You can just add it into marinades, dressings, because of how easy it is. Then I make it into Bloody Marys, because that's my jam. The vodka guy's down here, by the way, in case anybody's interested in that.
I can smell the garlic through my mask, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It is a good thing.
Yeah, it's delicious. They built a big industrial kitchen on their farm, and then went out and decided they would go source vendors that they believed to be the absolute best quality, most local, that type of thing. So as much as we can, we get stuff from California, Oregon, and Washington. Try and keep it as local as we can. And we will be selling locally in St. John's at Western Meats starting today. So
At Western Meat.
at Western Meats.
Where
so
is
we try
that?
very hard. It's right down on Lombard. We try very hard in neighborhoods that we support to try and find a local neighborhood place to actually sell our product.
Tell us about your vegan cheeses.
So our cheeses are all cashew based. We first ferment the cashews with the same cultures that would go into dairy cheese, and then add in other flavorings to create the different varieties. And then they all age for a little bit. We've been in business for just over 3 years.
So what kind of vegan cheeses are there?
We've got a whole list of different flavors. The black garlic and sun-dried tomato is our newest one. Smoky Gouda is one that we originally made to be like a Gouda style cheese. That's probably our best seller.
Gouda.
We like the cheesy puns too.
And I heard that you were moving into a new building. Is that right?
Yes, we leased a spot in Southeast Portland. And
Stark and 12.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. What it was Food Fight previously.
Right. So the
Um,
whole block will be a strip of vegan businesses.
Yes, yeah. It's the vegan. It's known as the Vegan Mini Mall. So we're excited to be moving in there, and hopefully we'll be up and running there shortly after the first of the year. The farmers market's a great way to connect directly with the consumers, and being able to give them a sample of the product, because especially with vegan cheese, people are either unfamiliar with it or are used to some of the older ones on the market that might have had weird textures or tastes.
What was the spark that made you decide to make it a thing, make it a small business?
I started making the vegan cheese as a hobby when I was already vegetarian and wanted to give up dairy, and cheese was my stumbling block. So after making it as a hobby for about 4 years, I was laid off from another job and had the opportunity to start the business, and didn't know what to expect. I mean, because I just thought I'd end up getting another job at the end of the farmers market season or something, but 3 years later, we're moving into our own store. So,
We would love to hear more about your handmade sausages.
All right. Yeah, so Scratch Meats, we're based over on Lombard. We source all of our meats locally, and so we source from these places here, depending on what kind of meat it is. I know all the farmers are all nice, and it's all like the beef is grass-fed, grass-finished. Pork, they don't really eat grass like that, so that's not what happens, but we don't do any preservatives, any weird stuff like that. We just use salt and onion powder, basically, to preserve it. And we get it, we put it through the grinder, and then package it up, pump it into, the casing, and then immediately vacuum seal it and freeze it. And so, like the same day we get it, or close to it. So, all fresh, locally sourced. We have all different kinds, blends of pork and beef, lamb. We have a paleo beef mix, chicken, turkey.
Sweet.
So this is
Oh, wow.
the blood sausage, yeah. And then this is just our hot Italian recipe. That's one of the first recipes they did.
Scratch meats. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm Margo with the Village Portland. You have beautiful mushrooms abound.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So are these are all from the area?
These are all actually cultivated in an indoor greenhouse.
Indoor greenhouse.
40-foot shipping container. Yeah, with an automated misting system. So,
Wow.
We do have wild fours actually too, but we sold out today of the chanterelles.
It's like a whole rainbow of grays. Do you help with the growing operation?
Yeah, I help with mixing the substrate. I inoculate. So yeah, I'm taking the year off teaching, so I've just been helping my brother with his business.
Has it been a lot of learning on the job?
Yeah, I mean, I picked it up pretty quick for the most part, and yeah, I mean, harvesting's actually the most gratifying part. Just taking them off the nice blocks in the little, just seeing the whole row in the greenhouse. And that's the
Mushroom business is booming.
I'd say, yeah, it's doing quite well actually. Yeah.
Fruiting maybe is a better term. So what inspired you to start roasting in a popcorn cooker?
I actually didn't even drink coffee until I was like 22. But I just got invited to like hang out at a coffee shop by a friend and started like going to coffee shops every now and then with friends, and I really liked the environment. Like it was really cool that everything they were doing was local, and it's like none of it was like big companies. There's just small coffee roasters, small buildings, just people brewing coffee, and I really liked that. So I kind of got into like specialty coffee. Was kind of like my foray into like the local food world. Yeah, and then I started working on like farms and stuff, and I did that for about 5 years. So yeah, I've been like done a lot of stuff in the local food scene, but coffee just kind of stuck with me, and like I just really enjoy coffee shops.
What would your advice be to somebody interested in like starting their own thing?
My advice would just be do what you're excited in and just look for every opportunity you can. When I started doing farmers markets, I was working 60 hours a week on a farm. and I just met a farmer market manager, and I was actually working a market booth for the farm. It's actually that farm right over there, that
Awesome,
family
yeah.
farm. But I just brought some coffee to one of the markets, traded some of them, sold a couple of them, and then a couple months later, the coffee vendor for that season pulled out, and they asked me if I wanted to do a booth. And that was probably the most stressful month of my life.
Yeah.
So I was literally working like 14-hour days, managing 6 farmers markets every weekend in the Portland area, and trying to make my own market happen. But I just kept doing it, and it eventually worked out. So, you know, and I don't think I would have been able to do it if I wasn't excited about it, and I didn't have like a desire to just do something on my own. And looking back on it, it's like I feel kind of silly to think that like it did not seem like it was going to work back then. You know, like thinking back to where it was, I'm like, wow, I'm actually really surprised it worked out. But I'm glad I made it through that part. So, you know.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm Margo with Village Portland. Could you tell us about what Happiness Family Farm is selling today?
Happiness Family Farm was selling collard greens, kale, dino kale, curly kale, chard, what else? Lettuce, and potatoes and beets, but they all sold out. So right now we only have cabbage, broccoli, jalapenos, chili peppers, green peppers, banana peppers, spaghetti squash, delicata squash, zucchini, and African eggplant.
African eggplant. I have never had African eggplant. Where is Happiness Family Farm?
Happiness Family Farm is at Sylvia Island. It represents my little sister.
It represents your. Is it named for your little sister?
Yeah, because her name is Annabelle, and Annabelle stands for happiness, and her last name is Happiness.
Annabelle Happiness.
Yeah.
Family Farm. Well, your produce is beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us. Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, so we are Dregs, a relatively new vodka company. Just started in June 2019, already been able to donate over $20,000 to Portland Youth Charity. We wanted not only to make a great product, a delicious product in the state, but we wanted to give back.
After it closes, after October 31st, when does it open back up?
Mid-May, so we'll be back open in mid-May, and actually the vendor application typically opens pretty early in around January, so if folks are thinking about maybe getting involved for next year, this is a good time to be thinking about it. It's a really great way to kind of launch your business. We have a number of vendors who have gone on to open up physical locations after starting here at the market, so I really care a lot about that business incubator aspect of the market.
For someone who might be interested in launching a business, where would you be a good organization for them to look into?
Absolutely, and in fact, Cultured Kindness is one of our vendors here at the market. Vegan cheese,
cheese,
so
yeah.
you don't have to give up cheese if you want to go vegan. And so Justin, the owner, actually worked with one of our workforce navigators to talk about the business concept, ended up opening a space here at the market, and will now be opening a physical location on Stark Street in the, I'm going to mess up the name, the vegan strip mall.
Yeah.
Vegan Mall.
Yeah.
Vegan mini mall, yeah.
So
Very cool.
It's pretty exciting to see what folks can accomplish with just a little extra boost.
Cool.
Well, I would say that our last market is on Halloween, so costumes are optional, but we encourage